everything. Wiethoofd started it. But welcome, this is Xenophobiaphobia versus Nature Walk, Season 18 Premier Division, Week 4. Welcome back, Fozzlm.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's been a while, you know. I've dusted off the old mic, gotten out from behind the management chair, and joined you back in the land of the talking people. So it's been a good while, and I'm keen to cast because I have not actually casted with you, and I'd consider you a pretty good caster. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I got some good people on our roster here, and so it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, well, if I'm not a good caster, then that reflects badly on you, so of course you got to say that. Now, it's going to be a cracker of a match tonight. We've had some interesting matches that we've covered this season. This is going to be one of the best ones all season, I reckon. These are two very close match teams that are like one of, I want to say, 4 teams who are all just sort of nudging each other around for the second, third, fourth place positions in playoffs, and it'll be really close. It'll be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both the other thing to note is that both these teams are actually been around in some form or another for a little bit of time now. So it's not, they're not just sort of the standard pug teams thrown together in ozfortress fashion as teams ready up while it is currently 11 versus 1. I don't know what's going on there. But
Scott can take him.
Of course, the legendary Paulson. But yeah, so as I was saying, both these teams have been around for a while. Nature Walk, this is their sort of second or so season competing. Third, if you want to count an earlier form of them, with 11 corners. And then, God, Xenophobia have just been around for a while under a myriad of... Actually, no, they've mostly gone under this name, but I think it was back in ozfortress 15, they first entered the Prem scene under the name FIFO. Not that they were doing it so based on their own will, but, they've stuck around and they're back in Prem, and, they're really chasing after this playoff spot this season, as are Nature Walk.
Yeah. This is going to be a cracker. Like you said, 2 teams with, like, some really experienced players, not just rosters that have been around for a while. These guys... They know their stuff. There's some pretty notable names on here if you've been paying attention to the international scene, and as well as the Australian scene. If you've been in MGE ever, you've probably seen Deft, that sort of stuff. And with that, do you want to hit me with the Nature Walk roster? Fozzlm.
I will. So, taking us off, we've got the Scouts, we've got Down and Quid. Roma, we've got Pause. Pocket, we've got Dubious. Demo, Deft. And Medic, none other than best medic in Australia, ozfortress Overlord himself, Mr. Cookies, Obla.
Boo!
He is the worst. Obla sucks. This cast is just a facade for me and you to shit on our admin boss for about an hour. So, sorry for anyone who was actually looking forward to, decent coverage. But, as we've gone over Nature Walk, why don't you take us down the lineup of Xenophobiaphobia, as I know you know those guys pretty well.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it'd be a good idea to have me back up for them last season, but regardless of past mistakes that they've made, nice bunch of guys. On Scout is going to be DJ Paulie Paulson and MG. Roma is going to be Shifter, Pocket is going to be Big Mac Daddy, Demo is Modus, and Muppet is the medic, who I'm going to habitually refer to as Sean, as we're live in real time. Anything you want to get in quickly before we get going, Foz?
Well, I was actually about to ask you, who are your go-to, because you're a premier gamer this season. You're probably the best roamer in Prem, I'd say. So, give me your takedown. Each team, give me 1 or 2 players who you think is worth keeping the cam on. Who you think is going to make the big plays for their teams?
Alright, well, obviously Paulson playing Scout, not the class he's most well known for, but he loves playing the flank really aggressively. He'll be constantly baiting picks and taking fights. And so he's one to watch, and on the side of Zeno as well, Mac is just a monster. As my good friend Yukari would say, Mac is got the most potential of any player in ozfortress possibly ever. The guy is just a beast, so expect for him to make the big plays. And looks like we're going to be going live very, very shortly, so quickly on no safe word, I think Julius...
Come on, man. They're called Nature Walk.
Nature Walk, sorry, I've got
so unprofessional.
I'm the worst. But yeah.
You're the worst.
Pause, interesting matchup there, because he actually roamed for Xenophobiaphobia last season, and now he is one of the enemy gamers. So a bit of a grudge match there. He's a solid roamer. Dubious been around since probably the dawn of time. Like, God created Dubious on the second day, and on the third day he created TF2. And Deft. Deft hits everything. There's not much more you can say about that guy.
Bit of a DM lord. Not to say that he's a brainless player. Very good, you know. Great. Just a all-round good player, but yeah, he is I'm expecting to see many a shot be hit by him. Wow, I'm about 10 minutes back into this, and it's already all falling apart, Yauch.
That's alright, that's alright. As someone in our chat has astutely pointed out, no Gramps. He had to pull out last minute tonight, which is a shame, because everyone loves the real best medic of Prem last season. He's been playing Scout for them, but for xenophobiaphobia, that is, and he can't make it tonight, so they are using... oh Christ. I hope you see that name change, Foz, as they are using MG in place of him tonight. Wowee.
Our good old friend Quid has paid tribute to one of the most important figures, I think it's safe to say, in Australian, nay the world, TF2 scene. Our good friend, who will be so pissed off for me saying this, Hobbs.
Yeah. As our good friend who balls up the last cast, but that's alright.
He gave us notoriety. Wow, I really can't talk tonight. This is a terrible idea. Take me off the cast. Let me just go back to organising stuff poorly, and, you know, return to the status quo.
It's alright. Me and Wiethoofd, we're the true consummate professionals. We will persevere despite your presence here. That's alright. I misunderstood a message from Quid. They're not live in real time, so we've got plenty of time to just waffle around. Alright, I've given my players to watch. Anything else you want to offer, Foz, as the admin for this division? What are you seeing? As
Premier admin, having to do almost no work, because this season, barring Nature Work being awful, Prem's been good, but I'd be crucified if I didn't give a shout out for best medic, as I've said, in Australia, neither world, Obla. I mean, you know, he's a god. He really is a god among men, and I think he will single-handedly fight for Nature Walk. He'll hit every arrow, he will constantly have full uber charge, and he'll be a beast. And actually, what will happen is the exact opposite of everything I say, and I'm expecting at least 3 drops from him tonight. If it is anything less, I will, I don't know, force some sort of punishment onto myself. No, because Obla is an absolute idiot. But yeah, it's hard to go past Paulson. I'm just gonna reiterate a lot of what you said. I mean, Paulson is just, you can stick him on any class and he will just absolutely beast mode it. I'm happy to see Shifter again, you know, see some sneaky sniper plays, as he is quite known for. But again, you know, on the other side, for Nature Walk, I've really got to give it to Dubious. He is like, sort of, you know, one of the last true pockets in Australia. He has actually adapted a fair bit in the past few seasons, but like, this man is gonna do a bunch of damage. He's gonna hit a bunch of shots. We're gonna see a lot of middies, and you know, he will carry his medic to greater heights.
Well, Obla, you've hyped him up a lot, and then you've unhyped him up a lot in probably the same speech, but he does need to get here to do this, and I do have exclusive insider information that Obla is not in the server because his dad was thirsty, quote-unquote. I will give you that one in stream chat. But, yeah, we're 11 in the server right now. We should probably mention the maps quickly, Foz. That would be a thing we should do.
You know what? Why don't you take us through the maps this week, Yauch?
It's probably because you've forgotten what they are. You haven't played in such a long time. I've
completely forgotten what maps are being played this week.
Boo, you suck. Okay, we're starting us off on Snakewater. The map, famous for not having Sam in the water. Anyone who gets that joke, I commend you. And then we're going to the Caster's Nightmare. So, Trial by Fire, welcome back, Fozzlm. We're going to Product after this one.
Some of my favourite casting moments have been in Product. So I'm actually looking forward to that, you know? I'm going to let you ramble for a bit as I need to sort out just a few admin-y things for a while. So, you know, I know that you're a big fan of Snakewater. So,
I love Snakewater.
You know, why not go through who you think's going to win this map, Yauch?
Alright, well, Snakewater is the roamer's map, in my eyes. Like, it's a map that does not favour pockets, but there is just, for some reason that someone better at this game than me can explain, it is just a brilliant map to do some roaming stuff on. And Pause and Shifter are both really strong roamers, so I'm expecting to see some bombs out of windows, some hiding in kitchen, and all that sort of stuff. Whereas over on Via known for its, or Product rather, Product, known for its off-classing, and so we got a few capable snipers in this server. I'd say we've got like quite a few capable snipers in this server. I don't know if we'll see either team run a sniper. I don't know if it's really in their playstyle.
Shifter's hitting some pretty spicy shots pre-game.
Yep, Shifter a really solid sniper. Paulson an off-classing fanatic. Whether he's any good at it or not, that remains to be seen. That's another one. We'll say Paulson's going to go spy a lot, but on product, I reckon we will be seeing. I dare say we won't be seeing any snipers for between these two teams. I just don't think it's something they really need to rely on. Both these teams have great synergy, good scouts, and I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from, and that's actually been a trend in more recent seasons, is definitely the departure from running a lot of off-class, and we've seen this, in ESA LAN and whatnot, where, you had entire product maps where, off-classes weren't really run until, sort of the dying seconds of, some of the deciding rounds. Teams, we're not in the days where we have snipers like Sheep and Jukebox that are just, crazy consistent and are known for just hitting absolutely everything. And that's sort of where the sniper pays off in product. You just got to be dealing constant damage, Hitting a clutch headshot every now and again, like, it's not bad, but, managing players on product is, like, for a map that's hailed as being so, like, just a dumb, brainless DM fest. Like, if you play it like that, especially at this level, it's not going to pay out well for you. So, if you've got a sniper that's not actually contributing much to the fight, barring the occasional headshot, yeah, you're essentially down a player. So, I'm going to agree with your sort of sentiment that we're probably not going to see a ton of off-classes, but, as you also alluded to, Snakewater last, you've got sort of... It's a smorgasbord of what can be played, and...
We're live now. Look at that. Fozz appears to have done his internet thing, so I'm going to take us to mid. I am on the Modus cam this mid, because we've hyped up Deft a little bit, and we want to see how his opposite number on the demo man can do. Modus choosing to roll out lower, a little bit slower than Deft it looks like. Exchanging some early stickies, not really much done. Nature Walk posturing around this top left side. Dubious taking some early position while Shifter is got the kitchen of the red team. MG is going to be the first down, but it's a scout for a scout as Quid goes down to Shifter. Paulson flanking around behind actually. He's going to draw some eyes behind. He's not really engaging. Modus is going to get absolutely hammered by Dubious, and Dubious is going to find another one onto Shifter. Muppet goes down. This is absolutely disastrous for Nature Walk, as it looks like Obler is still up. Indeed he is.
Yeah,
combo of Nature Walk survives, but it's a wipe. It's a wipe on the side of xenophobiaphobia.
It is, and my net went out just as I was giving a big long speech about off classes and whatnot. But yeah, really decisive mid for Nature Walk. You saw Shifter get into the enemy's kitchen really early on, but he was actually spotted out, so he couldn't do the normal Roma things. And in the end, he just ended up being a hindrance for his team. He actually comes in from a bomb on Obler, and Obler eating a bunch of spam beforehand, and Shifter gets the force out. So really good, and doesn't even look like Nature Walk are going to be able to get into lobby, as some nice stickies from Modus blocks them out from this little rampway. So we've got about a 30-40% advantage back in the hands of Muppet, but pushing out onto Snakewater second is normally a quite arduous task, so we could see the stalemate out here for a bit.
Well, it looks like they are going to get it going, because they have got MG building up this Uber advantage, making sure to get it. They're coming up to 85% now. Paulson was on Engineer for the defensive off-classes, but after that round-saving bomb, I want to say, from Shifter, forcing out Obler's Uber, he's changed off, so it looks like they are going to try and do this, as they are up on 100% Uber. Obler just on 65%, and they come out to bats. They're going to try and not pop here. Pause is launched deep. He gets launched. Yeah,
and we've got a scout going in behind. Who is that? God, I cannot see. It's Quid going into last, but he's met with Paulson. He's actually just distracting so long. They get the cap on his second, and Quid completely beast modes Paulson. 5 HP remaining. He meets Shifter in low, but at the same time, Deft and Dubious come in and get Mac and MG. Modus goes down to 2 as the Uber is popped out from the side of Nature Walk. Dubious is steam charging ahead of his team, going into last, and with only Muppet and Shifter left up. This looks like a definite round for the side of Nature Walk, as we see Shifter bombing in, trades his life for Deft. Dubious and Obler all going down. They really shanked that push so hard. They just not playing as a proper unit, and they got picked off one by one. The bomb from Shifter to get the demo was actually enough in the end, as Pause is surely going to die to Paulson. It's just Quid and Deft left up, and what a car crash of a last push.
Yeah, it's interesting. Heals are better on the side of Nature Walk right now, as Opla did spawn slightly earlier and get to his plays. It looks like they're not going to contest, though. But yeah, it was really close run thing, and that's just the Snakewater spawns. It's notoriously last hard last point to push. Goodness me, excuse me.
Wait, so to cut you off, we've got Poulsen and Shifter coming up into the enemy kitchen. They have been spotted out. It's actually, they're getting head on head with Dubious, who's eating a lot of spam. He's going to pick up an arrow from his medic. Is Obla gonna... Nah, Obla's just gonna let Dubious go down. There we go. Finally grabs an arrow. But yeah, it's about, 5% difference between the teams. Neither team's been building that efficiently, so... I mean, if there's ever a chance for a sniper to be run, it's probably in this situation right here, Yauch.
Well, I'm expecting... We just got the cookie cutter out on the field at the moment. I would expect we're going to see a Dubious Roma play before anything else. Sorry, not a Dubious, a Pause Roma plays. It looks like Dubious is just sussing out the inside of Saw Room here. Yeah, Ubers are even, not really much to say. Down is having a little bit of a sticky beak down in the lower area, but not really seeing much. Yeah, this is Nature Walk's push to make. Dubious having a look down lower. Not really a whole lot happening. It looks like Pause is getting his buff. He might be going window, but it did get spotted out there.
Jumps back, and we actually have... Again, Shifter looked like he was gonna be a bit cheeky, but... he fails it. Oh, Pause and Shifter both fail Roma jumps and just collectively hop back to their team, like in the space of half a second of each other. That was a bit embarrassing. Not one for the highlight, as Pause drops the sad face in chat. He knows his mistake. Shifter's probably not going to own up to his own, but a bit more, going back to a reset here after that failed Roma attempt from either team.
Yeah, well, it looks like Pause and Down are pushing the lower area, trying to get some space. Mac has come to meet them. He's taken them both down to about half health, and Lotus is rotating around to try and get some spam as well. Nothing going to come of it. Nature Walk just sort of re-evaluating their positioning. Looks like they maybe are going to send another bomb. I would certainly hope so.
Yeah, Shifter got a bit aggressive there, but shot a rocket, jumped back, and really hitting the stalemate. About 5 minutes being taken off the clock, mid in favour of the boys over in Nature Walk. Slowing down. We've seen a few unsuccessful Roma plays. Do you think it might just be worth Nature Walk trying to take a one-on-one Uber trade? Because Dubious is such a beast that... Do you think that's like a plausible outcome they could try to go for here?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing in that Paulson bind. But I don't know.
Good bind.
That would be a very dubious thing to do. Was to take the...
Def goes down. Oh, what is he doing? And actually, as we see this, Pause come in for a hot, really nice bomb and gets the force out. So they lose that demo, but Pause played that absolutely perfectly. He took his opportunity and just ran with it. And here we go, 100% favor in the hands of our boy Obla. And actually, really early Force comes out. Shifter gets taken down, so does Mac. The soldiers are down for the side of xenophobiaphobia. It's just a medic being escorted out by 2 scouts and a demo as Nature Walk start to flood into the second here. EMG's coming through cheese. Obla's completely disconnected from his team. What is he doing? Oh my god, Obla, you're so bad. You're so bad.
Harshness on the head admin aside, that was a really good play there by Pause. Just noticing that they would be pushing through that really tight that area. They'd be Xenophobia would be funneling through that entrance to Saw, and was able to get a really easy force out. And with Obla's much safer counterblock, they were able to grab second, but Obla still not healing. This is going to be an 85-90% advantage on the side.
Oh, actually,
Paulson's going to get paused, but gets traded out. That's a 1-for-1 trade, and I think in this situation that really does favour Xenophobiaphobia, as it looks like they have managed to get up second here, get second capped up here, as Sean has just come up on his Uber. He's taking Mac through lower. He hasn't had to pop it yet. Obla just ages away from Uber still. Oh, that's a bit of a questionable pop down there in the dungeon area. Mac
nice
does...
rocket.
Yeah.
Pause is up top. It's mean with Shifter. Oh, that was so close to being spicy. And actually, yeah, Pause drops a nice shot. But it looks like Nature Walk might actually, in a weird way, be able to stabilize here. They're down to player, but no, Down gets shot down by MG. Death is really low. Quid sacrifices his life so his medic and Demo can escape, but will they be able to?
Looks like Demo's going to get
pounded down really well, but Dubious gets met up. Shifter's actually coming in through grass right now. He gets one rocket onto Obla, who has to hop down into lower, but Deft promptly cleans up that frag, and so we're going to stabilize a bit with a 40%
Paulson's on Deft. Paulson gets Deft, he just runs in through lower, and he's going to get out as well. Oh my dog, that was a good play by Paulson.
Oh my dog.
And that could probably cause... I don't think that Nature Walk are going to be able to push off that. They do have an Uber advantage, and have had an Uber advantage since Sean popped into mid. Paulson's running in lower again. He has not had enough of these flanks.
Modus, it gets disconnected from his team, but it looks like that's going to be the only thing they're going to be able to do as the Uber does come up from Sean. Pause, and Dubious not going to be able to survive.
Paulson,
but,
again, he's still behind. He's just still pestering the flank. Sorry to cut you off, but this is going to be a definite cap-up of second from xenophobiaphobia. But, Pause with a really great bomb onto grass
Weird
there,
and
catches
Deft
out.
on the low ground, on both low health. They do actually pick up Matt, and Deft with another one onto Paulson. Shifter's Shifter just missed a perfect chance to get onto Obla, and he actually still picks it up. He trades his life, but fantastic work by Shifter, picking up the med and the demo, as it's just 3 players left alive, as a couple of spawns actually do come in for the side of Zeno. I've got Quid capping up, but with Mac jumping to the point, his life may not be long for this world, but it looks like he might be able to survive with his life. Quid, what are you doing? Get out of there. But as he says that, it's giving a bit of room for Dubious to come in, but it's hitting so much spam and Dubious dying at a really bad time for his team. Pretty questionable plays there, as it's giving Xenophobia a lot of room to work with here.
Yeah, really messy fight there on that previous second fight, as Mac's gonna get caught out by Pause. Just eats 2 fat feet direct.
Oh, sorry, not drops, but Oblit goes down to Shifter just from the pistol shot. Death's gonna go down to Paulson, who's now taking a one-on-one beat down, and if Paulson wins this, he is a god. Both scouts hopping over each other on like no HP, as MG who finally cleans that up in the worst scout MG fight I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, full overcharge in the side of Xenophobiaphobia. They're coming in. Muppet's eating a few rockets, and they finally pop onto Paulson. Def surely going to go down. The heavy from Quid is out, but he's eating so much spam from Paulson and Modus combined. But he picks up Paulson and gets dropped off in the Uber. Xenophobia play the point, but Dubious with some crisp rockets, and this is just a repeat of what we saw earlier in the round. What happened to Nature is now happening to Zeno, as Mac leaves True Cheese with his life, as Quid drops the Pootis in chat. What happened there, Yauch?
They just had a really ineffective Uber on the side of Xenophobiaphobia. They took Modus and Paulson in underneath, as we have actually got Speaker of the Devil. He's up on Spy. I knew this would happen eventually. But yeah, they couldn't even kill the heavy by the time the Uber had faded out, and Quid with that disgusting Pootis tracking manages to take down Paulson at the same time as the rest of the spawners for Nature Walk were coming up. So it was just a really, really ineffective push off the back of a really ineffective Uber. Yeah, which is a shame, because they had everything going for them there.
Sorry to cut you off. We've got Paulson. Did he just accidentally decloak for half a second or something?
He decloaked and fell off, I think.
Oh, Paulson! They didn't hear him, even though...
I-58 game of Paulson.
This man once got voted the best demo in the world, ladies and gentlemen, I believe. It's just, he's not even scouting out positions, he's just hiding here. Quid's up on Sniper, so he's gonna at least be able to give that call to his team, as Modus is actually eating a fair bit of spam from Paulson, who's up there on the pipe. Paulson's, is he going for it?
He's a long way back.
It's just, he's moving very slowly, kids.
Yeah, he's got the cloak and dagger, so...
This is like sideshow level Spy players. Don't do this to your team. Just kill bind.
And I guarantee you they won't expect it the third time. He just ran into Quid!
Wow. Quid did not notice?
No, Quid's noticed. I think, just looking at Quid spinning around, he's a bit savvy to this. I just want to draw your attention, outside of some extremely... Yeah, Paulson's taking damage. They know he's there.
Paulson is the worst gamer. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, outside of some really, really lackluster Spy play by Paulson, I just want to draw attention to the fact that Nature Walk, this entire time they've been sitting on second, and the entire time Paulson's been on Spy, he's going to drop down and die now, finally.
Oh, Paulson, you're so bad.
Yeah. Does actually get Opera pretty low, but Nature Walk did have a full advantage that entire time. They were up on about a 70 or 80% Uber advantage. MG's going to aggress in. Counter Uber's going to come out, and counter Uber's going to be popped on the side of Zeno, trading around the Saw area. But players are heavily in favour of Nature Walk right now with an extra pick. But no, Shifter and Modus just extend into lobby with the better Uber that they had. Down's going to go down late as well, but they just timed aggression late into lobby.
Quid as well. Dubious, sorry to cut you off there, but looks like Dubious might go down as well to Shifter. No, Shifter and Mac actually rotate the hit. Oh my god, Mac is up! Oh my god, someone clipped that. Modus jumps in, big bomb. Def survives on 1 HP. Modus cleans that up. We're seeing some fat shots. Shifter comes in, it's down and Obla alive. This is surely going to be a round on the board for Xenophobiaphobia. And what is this DM, Yauch? What is this death match?
Mac Daddy, that's what that is. That is the boy that Paulson said, that Yukari has said has the potential, all the potential in the world. That was fat. That was fat with a PH. as we're going to mid. Taking to mid Fozz.
Yeah, we see Modus coming up from this low ground about the same time as Deft. Neither of them really getting any spam on each other, so just playing the zoning game as both the scouts from Nextwalk start to split sides. We've got Dubious and Force both going up top. Dubious, oh my god, Mac again with the 6 shots to take down Dubious. EMG cleans up Pause, so we've got trades coming out on either side. Shifter cleans up down, and it looks like this Naturewalk might take this despite their poor positioning. Pause actually comes in and Modus combined, and that is an absolute bloodbath of a mid. Started with a terrific shot from Mac. Shifter comes in, cleans up a lot of damage, and Paulson and Modus at the end. What is going on?
That was just a little bit of I think an overextension there by Naturewalk. They had the position advantage by a long ways. Dubious is going to jump in, probably won't get anything here. Hello? Oh, he does take down Modus. Please let me pontificate these gamers, but unbelievable how rude they are. But I don't think that'll slow down Zeno's push on the second here with the full Uber advantage. I think this match is being played entirely on the flanks, and we're seeing that. We saw that on this last mid as well, where Naturewalk had all the position in the world, but they just kept extending back into xenophobiaphobia, and eventually, like, just their health got taken down so low that Paulson was able to come out from his flanky hiding spot.
Oh my god,
Deft drops Muppet and Paulson with a trap just on the lower door. That's
Dubious
huge.
picks up MG2, Shifter's going down, and we're seeing the reverse collapse. Mac is making his way into lobby, but he's been spotted down, cleans that up, and wow, what a quick turnaround. It's only Modus alive, and he's hightailed himself all the way back to mid with a, you know, setting up a few sticky traps, but I mean, Deft with the really heads-up play there.
That's such a standard sticky trap. I can't believe Paulson didn't think to look at that. It was literally just above the door lower, and yeah, it looks like Naturewalk getting in onto mid now, and Shifter does manage to force out the Uber and get Quid. Really nicely played by Shifter. Trades out a frag and an Uber Force, so he will take that any day of the week. That is like Aroma's Christmas has come early. As it looks like Zeno is going to be setting up on second here. Pause is going to trade with Pause is going to trade with NG. Dubious goes down. There's fighting going on in the grass here. Down is onto Modus, but Down should get taken down by Paulson. Indeed, he does. Towards the end, Down getting taken down. That's going to get really old really quickly. But it's just really Deft and Obla with Quid the spawner joining them on mid, and it looks like Paulson and Mac are going to take this in with their medic Sean in tow. Mac bounces away Quid, and yeah, and it's just all this position now for Xenophobia. Just a really good jump forward by Mac to buy themselves all that position on mid, and this should be, as well as a 50% advantage, a free mid for Xenophobiaphobia. They should be taking this forward, though. They know they have this ad.
Yeah, and Obelisk was actually really lucky to survive there. He actually got disconnected from those rockets, from his demo and scout. Managed to hightail his way out of there. As EMG just plus forwards into the entire team, doesn't die. The Uber comes out to save him. Mac coming in, missing a couple of rockets. Down, does eventually fall. Dubious jumps back, and it looks like they're only going to get one pick. Dubious in with a big bomb, and he's just jumping around. The Uber comes out, but
Obla drops everyone there. Oh, Sean! Oh,
drops everyone. Like, Obla, stop being bad. He's probably gonna die to EMG. He doesn't even make it back into spawn. Obla, stop playing this game down. Trades with EMG, but another round on the board to Xenophobiaphobia. A disastrous Uber coming out from Naturewalk as they lose all of their players just as they pop.
God, on that second, I saw Pause with Pause get fatly airshot down by Shifter, as well as Muppet hitting an air arrow, I think. The medic play is coming out onto second now, and this is... Wow, DM's just really strong arming this for Xenophobiaphobia, as we are on to mid number 3 now. Deft's just sort of playing very tentatively now, and there's a lot of
Shifter in with a big bomb, sorry to cut you off there, but Shifter came in, unable to connect those last couple of rockets, sorry. That's the Soldier already down for the side of Zeno. Paulson just runs in and plus frags Pause, survives on 2 HP, and the positioning here for Naturewalk is so scattered. Down falls as well. Obla's stuck on the low ground. Modus actually picking up a nice pipe onto Deft, but it's just Quid, Dubious, and Obla alive against an almost full-forced Zeno, as, yeah, Naturewalks really need to back off to safer ground here, as once again they lose a mid from what seems like almost just sheer positioning mistakes.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, except it was the opposite this time. Zeno managed to really buy themselves a lot of early position on the point, and were just able to rain down hell. As it looks like Dubious is taking this into Saw here. He's getting really aggressive. It looks like they want to take a trade on the mid. This is extremely aggressive, my god.
Oh, the Uber comes up really fast, and the juggle from Modus with those stickies. Dubious in with a big bomb, but gets cleaned up immediately. Not able to really find any damage. They get the force off, but with a pocket down, we're just going to see Xenophobia stream forward into second here. but they have actually got Paulson on that sniper class, so that's gonna, you know, somewhat limit their movement. Matt getting a couple of rockets onto the combo there of Naturewalk. Modus 1v1ing a scout with the help of the EMG, cleans him up. The entire combo of Naturewalk ball up, and they clean up EMG, they clean up Modus. Shifter can find nothing.
And comes Mac again.
Mac, oh, gets the medic pick. Muppet pick.
Muppet, wow.
That was fantastic. It's just Dubious and Depth Alive. So again, Xenophobia pulling away this fight from absolutely nowhere. You know, you saw 3 players of Xeno dropping like flies immediately, and yet they're still able, even with a sniper, to just turn it around.
These flanks from xenophobiaphobia, both of their soldiers are just managing to blow out so much damage. As we got Deft watching some forward traps here, and oh, he just misses the dead onto Mac, but they'll probably take down Mac with the sticky spam anyway. Still a huge ad. I imagine Xeno would go without Mac here, even though he has been hitting the meaty fat shots. I reckon they'll take this in.
Yeah, they probably.
Paulson's still on sniper though. Actually, that's what triggered that push onto mid earlier from Dubious. Just some really, really old school pocket mindset where he sees the enemy team as a sniper, so he goes to take the trade in hopes of winning it post Uber. But they just had such an early force, and the position was just much better from Xenophobiaphobia. So it looks like they're going to get popped in here.
Yeah, the counter sniper did come out for quit at the same time. A bomb from Pause. Dubious is going to jump away with his life, and Shifter's just waiting in this little drop down area, not actually going in for any plays. He probably should have bombed into Obler, who goes down to the stickies from Modus as EMG cleans up Dubious as well. Muppet's firing off those arrows. Def still at full health, should be able to make some plays, but he's just eating some crisp rockets from Shifter, who's probably going to take down as well. It's just down to Down and Dubious. Pause respawns, cleans up EMG. Can he clean up Muppet as well? Shifter, no, comes in, protects his med. Def is missing some shots.
Paulson could clean this up.
He does, but Dubious comes in. It's just Paulson on the point. He almost caps it from behind their backs, and wow, that fight turned hands so many times. It's I don't know what it is. Like, Xenophobia had to pop so early, but then they were able to clean up so many frags, but they just weren't able to play the point efficiently enough, even though Naturewalk only had 2 players up, and they pay with it, as Obler's going to pick himself up a nice 30% advantage, which should be to take him into mid. And Shifter comes in with a bomb, gets shot down, and maybe going to get out with his life. He is not.
Yeah, really messy last fight there. I think Xeno just... Oh, really nice pipe by Modus coming out there onto Pause with the taunt. Oh, that was a... The DM being on display here, Foz, has been absolutely nuts, but that last push just was so ridiculously messy.
Paulson gets like a cap 50% done, he jumps back on it. Paulson with the heads up play just knows you can't do anything with a demo and a medic. I'm going to cap it up. See Xeno taking a 3-0 lead with only 9 minutes remaining.
Wow, we're going to need to see some real beefy quick rounds coming out of Naturewalk to equalize this. Re-equalize is redundant, but we're up to mid-fight number 4 now. Demo's just exchanging spam again. Shifter actually going through his own kitchen this time. Let's go see if he's able to sneak up on anyone and get an early bomb in. Paulson taking the height. Again, just really, really no positioning for Naturewalk. That said, I am completely wrong as Down just extends into the combo. Both scouts on the opposite side of the map, on Xenophobia's side, and they just clean up so many kills there. The scouts combined. That was... Obler gets the finish up kill just there, but realistically, that was another kill by the scout. Yeah, that was just the scouts.
Absolutely crazy work. Paul is actually picking up Mac as well, so we actually have the wipe coming out. So things, just as you said, you know, Naturewalk are going to need some lightning rounds to get back on the board. You know, they seem to have realized that themselves, as full overcharge on the side of Obler. They've got Paulson and EMG on Sniper and NG respectively to deal with. They're just buffing up their respawning players now, and they should be pushing in any second here with Dubious, who's on the direct hit.
Oh.
Excuse me? Is this BM?
Doubt it's BM. Dubious is actually like... This is something I've seen before. I want to say I've seen this before, as it looks like we're going to take the Uber in through Shutter here on the side of Naturewalk. They're standing there. He does actually manage to spam down the sentry gun, so the direct hit showing its worth. Ubers comes in here through Shutter, Muppet up onto 75%. Modus has popped into the air, and they have absolutely no position on point. Dubious is just going to get onto the point.
Tap it out.
Yeah, they did really well to buy so much position there with that Uber, did Nature Walk, and they were just able to stick their Roamer on the point, and Xeno weren't able to get to it quickly enough. Nice push.
Yeah, one of the defining factors there is the direct hit. It must have been to take down the sentry, but it also actually juggled Modus so high up in the air that he wasn't actually able to airstrafe or do anything to help his team, and Dubious just walked on the point and said, "See ya, son." So it's now 1-3, still on the side of Xeno. Take us through this mid, Yauch.
Alright, early bombing on the top right side from the Nature Walk perspective. Paws is taken down very low, but Quid's coming in on the flank. He's onto Muppet, and he's going to take him down with 4 shots to the back. And it's just another collapse. This game is just being entirely played on the flanks, and that was... Dubious. Oh, Dubious with... Shifter comes in. Shifter's not going to be able to get Oblo with that bomb. He just puts himself a little bit too far away. That's unfortunate, but...
Another wipe!
The Quid flank really, really opening that up, along with some really nice timed aggression by Deft, just able to play off his flanking classes, drawing eyes, and just walk forward and put out so much damage as Deft is always going to do, because he's just such a DM guard. We could be seeing another quick equalizing round, as we have another 100% Uber advantage on Obla.
Oh, Mac jumping into the combo, gets off some fat damage, just able to survive with his life. We've got now actually EMG, it's not Paulson on the sniper roll. We still have Dubious on the direct hit, so this sentry gun, it's only level 1, but he actually can't hit it from its position. The Uber comes in, Deft does a nice little hop forward, they get the sentry down, but they're not finding any frags. They're getting some good position. No one is playing the point as of yet, as Dubious slams EMG. Quid goes down for his flavor, for his life, I mean, and frags being traded either side. Muppet's on about 70%. It's just Dubious with the direct hit alive, and he's going to go down. Obla's
doomed. Obla's completely doomed there, yep.
Yeah, they got up so much position, but no one played the point, you know? They all huddled around it, but no one thought, hey, we should step on this point and get some cap time.
Well, that's a nice adjustment by Xeno. That's what I saw there. They were really easily forced back from a position where they could spam the point the last round that Nature Walk managed to cap up on, and instead this round they really sort of held their position a little bit better such that they could defend the point. And Modus was just able to clean up on some really nice damage. There are a few meaty shots here. As we're going to see the full Uber advantage popped in here for Xenophobia. Quid trying to run behind, gets Modus down very low, but is cleaned up with the Uber. That's all they're going to get really, is they're going to counter stack the cap. Not a huge Uber advantage in favor of Obla. Just I say that it is 30%, but it is a little bit of a small amount, and it looks like with that Quid pick, Xeno are going to roll it forward, knowing that the Ubers are still out of the equation. Mac's just going to get trashed.
Rockets, yeah. Pause is saying, I can hit as many good rockets as you can, but we just see Deft completely disconnected from his team, gets taken out. Shift is now probably going to get onto Obla, actually might weasel away, but again, it's these scrappy fights where Xeno seem to be able to get the upper hand. It's Quid and Obla versus Modus and Muppet. Who's going to win?
Go, Quid's Jake, my boy. As both of them decide that they're not about that fight. Muppet down to 12 health, I think, somewhere there. As, who's that? That's Quid. It's probably going to get taken down. The nice direct by Mac. But yeah, that was, I don't think I agree with Shifter jumping in there towards the end of that fight. It was 3v2 in favor of Xenophobia. Both players were on the low ground, all players for both teams, and had he not jumped in there and gone for the glory play on Obla, which I don't think was entirely necessary.
Holy shit, Mac gets absolutely skyboxed as he rocket jumps and gets hit with a direct hit shot at once. As the counter Uber comes out, flashing on Modus, he picks up Obla. Deft and Quid will be able to escape. Quid's actually just hiding in the shoes there. Deft picking up a nice kill onto Shifter. Paulson gets Dubious, Deft again overextending. I mean, they find the trade kill onto Modus. And they get Paulson as well, but with only Down and Pause up on their second health, with barely any health between them, Down actually wins that 1v1 against MD, and he might, oh my god, Down, how did you do that? You had no right to win that fight. Mac's gonna clean him up as Ubly comes in at the worst possible time, as actually Dubious cleans him up, and with another scrappy fight, even though Xeno lost their medic, they have bought so much time off the clock as Dubious annihilate Shifter, but there's only 3 minutes left on the clock, and Nature Walk need to take 2 rounds if they want to take this to Golden Cap. So, the scrappy fight might have gone their way, might have gone in their favor, but they've lost so much time from it.
Exactly right. In the long run, this does favour xenophobiaphobia in the terms of the map, as Quid's going to be getting in aggressive on mid. It's taken down very low. Both soldiers have the high ground here, so I imagine Xenophobia. Mac is actually contesting the direct hit on the high ground. That's brave. He doesn't get, absolutely meat But Quid is going to get taken down here by Mac. Still really good positioning though for Nature Walk. They could win this fight. Deft again just extending forward without that heal beam, and it's turned into a complete scrappy melee, but with Deft going down the way that he did. Uber's actually popped out. No, I didn't realize Obla was up on his Uber.
Yeah,
and they're going to chase down Muppet for it. But yeah, Paulson's on second.
I mean, this is not what Nature Walk need right now. Paulson's going to get the cap, and with 2 minutes left, things are really looking dire. I don't think they're going to be able to pull this around, as Paulson actually gives the little loop around to the combo of Dubious and Obla, and you know, that's one of the situations where the direct hit is just really punishing for Nature Walk, and you know, spam and splash damage is so important. You know, can they do this, Yauch?
I think we're in dead time now. With a minute 40 left, it's mathematically impossible, but I think Xeno are going to want to cap out this rounds just for the sake of for their momentum. Team health just really not that good. Deft is so low for Nature Walk, and Pause has been skyboxed. He's going to get bottled down by Motos. It's just Obla and Quid left alive. Obla actually takes down his enemy medic, and Quid's going to take down Mac, but Mac does trade with Quid. Obla's still left in. Quid with no escape. Indeed, that is the case, but it looks like there's going to be no escape for Nature Walk in this map loss, as it's going to be xenophobiaphobia capping up with a minute left to go. Heal advantage is in favor of Nature Walk, and we're going to see them push out maybe. Paulson's just hiding in the little like rut underneath the lower, and we're going to see if he can not get airshot by the direct hit, which he does manage to do. He's going to squeak out with his life. Very sneaky Paulson, but I think this is GG for Snakewater.
This is GG. 48 seconds left. The Uber comes out. The Deft and Dubious bomb in, trying to hit ridiculous shots that they cannot hit. But so, what went wrong for Nature Walk this map, Yauch, you know? Sorry, no, go on.
Oh, well, I just think, like, the team fights are obviously being lost, as we're going to see another one here. Max just going to be exceptionally happy with that melee onto Obla, as Obla is the worst player in Australia.
Oh my god, Paulson annihilated by Deft, I'd just like to say. Is Deft gonna... Yeah, Deft still showing he's got a bit of DM left in his tank. He might need to take that over to Product if, you know... Nature Walk, who, you know, probably were my favourites coming into this match, want to tie Xeno for the points. It's an interesting outcome. I really was not expecting this, as here we go, time runs out, 3-1 in favour of xenophobiaphobia. This is...
Oh, as Fozz lags out a little bit there, this is, yeah, ozfortress season 18. Hello. GG's everyone except Yauch. Thanks, Quid. Yep, okay, well, as far as that map goes, I think what we saw there was that, you would have seen it, everyone would have seen it at home, that Nature Walk were losing all the team fights, and I feel like that's because, like, they were both trying to play the death blob, but the heals were just always a little bit better, and the focus fire was always a little bit better on the side of xenophobiaphobia. You'd see Deft trying to do this thing that a lot of lesser teams would let him get away with, where he's able to get his health and just walk forward like across a point or across an area and just pump out so much damage, but with a team around him that's so hurt, he can't get the beam while he does that, so he extends forward trying to pump out all this damage with his stickies, and he just gets focused down really easily because he doesn't have the support from his team around him, really, and that's just excellently played. Whether you can put that down to Obla not healing efficiently, or maybe Dubious' shotgun even, causing him to require more heals, I'm not really too sure, but we'll see what the logs tell us.
The logs, and the first thing that's noticing me is that it's sort of a mirror for both teams, as we see. In terms of DPM, Mac and Dubious leading up their teams, and their respective demo men following in peace. So then it goes Deft and Modus all hovering. I mean, Mac almost getting 400 DPM, putting in monstrous work for his team. I mean, he did take... let's see if I can find the heal stat. He did take 34% heals. So, it gets a lot of damage done, but, you know, he soaks up a lot of heals for his team.
That's exactly right. Big Mac Daddy showing it large, but taking the same amount of heals as Dubious, funnily enough, and Dubious is running that shotgun. I want to have a look at the actual healing per minute here, and like as I thought, actually more Uber charges for Obla, funnily enough, in a loss, but better healing all round for Sean there. As we'll have a look at the kills and deaths again. We'll go back to that on the stream.
Our boy Paulson, oh my dog, leading the kill assists and deaths, and that was really sort of shown with all of the scrappy fights that the Xenophobia would take, and their flank work, especially on the mids, you know, you'd see the mids be drawn out, like the first 3 mids of the match, you'd see them being drawn out for a fair bit of time, and then right at the end you'd see Poulsen or, you know, maybe Shifter come in and just clean up so much damage, and that's really being reflected here in the stats.
I want to have a quick look at the most important stat in the entire game, which is the airshot stat. Dubious cheated. He used the direct hit, so Dubious can just... Dubious is bad. Dubious needs to go. Big Mac and with 5, Shifter with 3, Modus with 2, and Pause with 1. That's really important. Are you seeing anything else here on these logs as we go to Hoth product release candidate 8? Foz, anything else you're seeing here?
I'm seeing Obla had no drop, so he better drop at least 3 times on product, or I'm going to be really sad. I mean, he dropped all of his players on an Uber, so can we count that as a drop? Just for my little ticker. I
think it was Permzilla who once said, good medics drop Uber, bad medics drop players, and Permzilla does both. But yes, so by that moniker, then indeed, Obla is just trash. So we are back over to products now. Anything, we'll take the logs off screen now, I think. Anything you want to talk about with product files going into this?
I mean... Well, okay, first off the bat, we saw Dubious in the latter half of that match using the DH, and, you know, with product being a much tighter arena, you know, movements you could argue being a bit more predictable, you know how roamers are going to bomb in, you know how scouts are going to move. Are we going to see direct hit continue being played?
I'm not too sure, I can't say. It'd be an interesting one to look at, that's for sure. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted. I'm staring at dog bread right now. This map's great.
Stop doing a dog bread. You might actually have to rattle on for a bit, because once again, I need to sort out stuff behind the scenes that if I wasn't casting would be way easier for me to deal with. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, while Fozzlm goes and sorts out all the kidlets and gives them their right smackings and whatnot, and as players dribbling into the server, we were talking about it a little bit in pre-game, the sniper factor, and I don't think we really saw any big impact snipers on Snakewater on last. So obviously Poulsen was trying his luck with it a little bit, but that's because he's Poulsen and he's got brain damage. But yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing a sniper. I'd be genuinely surprised if we see a sniper come out from anyone. Maybe I'd expect it on the side of Nature Walk if they were to get desperate. But one thing that is worth noting is MG, obviously a little bit rusty this season, not playing core, and on a map that is so scout dependent. We saw him lose some really important 1v1s to down and whatnot, and Quid is obviously nothing to sneeze at either. So it could come down. This could be favouring Nature Walk a little bit more, because Deft obviously just going to be able to hit everything, and maybe the scouts are just slightly better. Obviously, we saw Mac being the real impact player for xenophobiaphobia. So, and yeah, as anyone who's ever played it will know, pocketing on product belongs in its own circle of hell. So I think with the reduced effectiveness on soldiers, I think we could definitely see a resurgence from Nature Walk here, because they do have the strong scouts. Foz, are you back from spanking kidlets?
I am trying to work out what's up with our servers. Obla's broken stuff because he's Obla. At least I'm going to blame Obla, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I might just be a little bit more... I apologise, kiddos.
That's alright. As you can tell, this is like an admin-focused cast. This is ultimate level nepotism cast, but what are you going to do? Impeach us? Ha!
Zing! We're here to stay. We're here to stay, you know? We run your league, we run your casting organisations.
Yeah, man.
You can't take us down.
Hit it up with the topical political zingers right here. Well, that's what we're about. But yeah, we have 12 in the server right now. Quid playing some sniper in pregame. I don't think that's really going to mean anything, though. Yeah. Man, I'm not really good at this solo casting thing. It's been a little while since I've done this as well. I don't know what to waffle on about. I want to see some predictions in stream chat, obviously. Actually, rather. We play European rule set here because we're all about those filthy Europeans. As we are going live here, so first to 3, let's see your predictions in chat, guys, as are you good to take us to mid, Foz?
I'm good to take us to mid. I'm going to drop a quick 3-2 prediction for Nature Walk. I think it's going to be a really close one, as I'm going to watch Deft as he comes out here, doing the standard thing, just waddling up left side. Modus actually gets there incredibly quickly at the sacrifice for a bit of health, eating a bit of early spam, so he's not going to have those crucial crit hills. Dubious just skip jumps all the way behind. Poulsen with a quick cleanup. Deft goes down as well. They only trade Shifter. Modus with a nice pipe onto Pause as Quid comes down, gets Mac, and the... I'm sorry, we appear to be might be having to do a radio cast for a while, as our producer is not able to get into the server, but just some incredible plays coming out from Xeno that first mid. Wow, Yauch.
Yeah, I saw some real fat damage hit there by Modus, but it looks like Obla did not go down there, so they're posturing around this cliffside. Nature Walk on the red side for anyone, because as we know, there's a funny layout on products where it's like mirrored but not symmetrical and that sort of jazz. As we're going to see Dubious opening this up, trying to get in, is pushed out by MG. But Uber's trade, and obviously with the cap in favour of Nature Walk, in favour of Xeno, the spawns. Oh, Dubious gets both scouts. That's huge.
Oh my
Bombs
god.
in and hits a direct on both of them. Muppet's brought down very low and does have to pop. Uber is traded out in kind by Obla, but this fight just favours Nature Walk so much with the spawn advantage, and as such, Modus and Muppet are tucking tail, and they are getting the Helen Keller out of there. Shifter's just lingering around on grass a little bit, but really, really good fight. Really nicely done by Dubious there to open that up with the 2 scout picks.
The initiation from him was so strong, as Xeno only able to tick 40 seconds off the clock from their first cap. Ubers are pretty much even, only a couple of percent split them. Shifter coming in, getting a bit of position on the side. Dubious and Pause both come in and scout them out. Pause eating so much damage, as that's actually Dubious and Pause, both the soldiers for Xeno, trade with their life. Quit eating a lot of spam, as along with death. So from sheer spam power, we're going to see Nature Walk already giving up their control of mid.
I'm going to try and help Wiethoofd out here, so you take us away, Foz. You're doing a great job.
Okay, things are going to settle down. Both teams on 100%. Death in with a nice skip jump. Forces Uber out super early, but he's actually trapped in behind. Trades with Modus, so he had no right to do that. And with, oh my god, Mac ran out of rockets. Had to equalize away. Quid gets Muppet. Only Pause going down for the side of Nature Walk. We're just sitting scrappy fight after scrappy fight. Paulson runs in, gets cleaned up by down. Shifter coming in for a really late bomb, again down with another cleanup frag. That was a bizarre scenario of events, starting off with Deft just jumping in behind and trading both the Ubers and the demo frags.
As we do have a cameraman in the cast now, so that does help us. Thank you, Wiethoofd. We love you greatly. Modus is going to take a huge amount of damage trying to get up this this slope side here, and that's really going to hinder this push from xenophobiaphobia. Obla with a big Uber advantage as well, so we'll see if they send a sack wave out here, do Xeno, or what they try and do. Is Mac's going to find Quid, so that's a scout down. That's a very important pick here on this map. But Uber's popped out by Obla. Mac and Paulson are going to go down as Dubious goes down as well, so that's 2 apiece. It's a scout and a soldier down for each team. Death is so far forward here, my goodness, he gets punished by MG, rightly so.
Yeah, and now we're going to get Uber and demo advantage over on the side of Xeno. Pause actually just doing some nice little Roma jumps to get himself out of there. It's an absolutely free cap for Xeno and Uber charge. This is going to milk at least another minute off the clock, or so it should. Max actually eating a lot of spam, and Deft and Down combine and get that frag. So I don't know, we're seeing a lot of overextension from the Pocket and the Demo, sort of respectively for these two teams, as just from that one Mac pick, we're seeing Xeno give up a lot of ground here. And popping out the Uber as well. Yeah. I don't really agree with this, as Dubious actually jumps in behind and is causing so much distraction. Quid as well. Dubious comes in for the bomb, they get EMG. It's probably going to be the only frag they get. Yeah, Dubious goes down, but really not sure about that pop there. It didn't really seem like they were in any immediate danger, as the counter pop comes out from Obla. Pause goes down, Dev gets a nice pipe onto Paulson, and at the very least they will get this cap, and we'll see Muppet with about a 30% Uber advantage and about 20 seconds advantage on their timer.
Not sure I agree with that there. I think they kept that. Oh, Modus is going to get absolutely floated up in the skyboxes. It looks like the aggression from Nature Walk is going to be able to really nicely lock out Xeno here. But I think they nearly shot themselves on the foot there on the side of Nature Walk, extending their own spawns while making Xenos a little bit closer. But it looks like with that really nice timed aggression, just spamming down on the slope side, it's not going to matter. But we do have a 20 or 30% advantage on Muppet right now on the side of Xeno, so they're going to need to go deep and chase down Obla if they want to actually secure this for reals. As we're going to see the cap time getting started off now. Muppet's up on his Uber. Deft gets a drop onto Paulson rather. Deft is actually going to go down though, so that's a demo for a scout trade. That's a really nice trade there. Obla is way out though. They're going to get the cap on xenophobiaphobia, but Obla's up on his Uber and he's going to be coming back on in.
Yeah, the chase from, nice rockets there from Pause, actually getting the demo and actually gets some nice rocks onto Shifter and jumps out. So Paul's actually doing a lot of work that fight as 20 seconds remain or so for Nature Walk and for Ubrad. This is perfect for them. Obler actually pops off really early. I'm not sure if that was the right idea. He probably could have milked that a while, but really no one from Xenophobia are in a position to capitalize. They're all quite hurt. Matt coming in with a bomb, gets one nice rocket on Zep. Can't quite sing the other, but Modus comes in with some stickies to get Dubious as well. That early pop from Obler really paying its price there, as it's just Obler on the point himself. He gets the arrow onto Modus. Matt goes down from Quit, and somehow, against all odds, they actually still managed to pull out that fight, and it looks like Nature Walk are going to take this first round.
Wow, this is intense. Welcome to product casting. Goodness me, this is just all over the shop right now. So we're going to go to round 2. Like I said in the pregame, I don't want to call myself a prediction god, but I am a god of predictions. Goodness me, we're just seeing the scouts on the side of Nature Walk just really clean up post Uber, and they're doing a slightly better job of it than Paulson and MG, I dare say. Paulson's going to go really deep there.
Yeah, Paul's just playing that mid perfectly. Actually hitting a lot of damage and lands on the head of Shifter, who does. Oh, Shifter missing the... Oh, Obler, I've got to give him credit for that. Some really nice some movements to avoid those rockets from Shifter. MG completely meat shots down, and Quit as well. He is on scout patrol. Deft is hitting so much spam, and EMG really saving that fight at the end for Xenophobiaphobia. It looked like it might tilt back in the favor of Nature Walk, but putting the team on his back. There's no rust there.
Not at all. As we're going to see, we did see Nature Walk win the previous minute as well, I think. Obler's still up on his Uber though, so Obler's doing quite well of surviving in some of these scrappy exchanges when he nearly needs to, but my god, he's taken down so low, he's on 30 health and he's forced to pop really early. Mac does go down, and that is a pick that favours Nature Walk, obviously, but he's going to be taking quite a while to get back onto the field of play, but Muppet's pop was much later. Mac is going to be up on the field very, very shortly, but with that Mac pick, it looks like that Nature Walk are going to start to get aggressive. Paulson might be getting caught out here, but Shifter is going to get the return frag on down, extending a little bit too far for that Paulson frag. Xenophobiaphobia just sort of backing up, playing their own side here, but Modus is just pumping out damage, gets his opposite number, the Demo Man, as well as gets Quid the Scout, and it's just Obler getting out main now with his pocket in tow. Really, really nice team fight there. Hit off by some meaty stickies from Modus. Well done,
yeah. Oh, Modus probably going to get caught out here, yeah, and same with Paulson. I mean, they trade for Dubious, but they really overextended on that cliff area. Didn't have the support, didn't have the heals, and that could be the opening Nature Walk need to just steamroll this forward. They've lost their pocket, but Mac eating so much spam, and it actually forces the pop out. Really nice stuff. Obler just comes up on his Uber himself, and Mac doesn't look like he's going to be able to get anything. He actually gets the force out, trades with his life, and really, it was just that early positioning onto cliff. It's, oh my god, Dubious just skyboxes himself, and skyboxes himself back out as Nature Walk get control of that midpoint.
The old skybox bind there is Dubious. As it looks like Zeno, it was totally out of the equation, so I would like to see Xenophobiaphobia take this fight while they have the spawn advantage, and Dubious is going to get taken down by the pistol of Paulson. Just got wedged in a corner there and wasn't really able to get out. Some really low players on the side of Zeno, but this will be a really quick recap by them. Nicely done with that team fight. Knowing that they had the spawn advantage and just managing to focus down that one frag, which turned it in their favour. Both teams here are just still posturing around the point. No one's really committing. These are all really tentative fights that are being fought. MG's going to be taken down though. Mac gets a really nice rocket there out, but he's going to get dropped. Muppet's not at his Uber yet. Obler's going to get popped out. Muppet is running for his life, but Paulson has just done so much work there to ensure that his medic gets out. Really well played by Paulson.
Yeah, but Muppet really pulled an Obler there. I mean, pulled an Obler there. That's all I got to say. And by that I mean he played medic poorly for his team. Sorry. Talk out admin overlord again. This cast is literally just an excuse for us to bag on Obler.
As
Uber comes out. Wait, I do not see what forced that. It didn't even seem like any network player was on the side. Dev putting in some massive stickies, traps off Modus, trades his life for it. Paulson goes down as well. Shifter trying to get into Obler, but Quid with some nice pistol shots actually surfs him away. Obler giving the runaround, and the Uber coming out from Zeno was just absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, it looks like they were sort of in a half and half forward hold when Nature Walk, and I think Mac's eyes just lit up. He saw fat solo pocket Uber type deal and thought they were forward holding. They popped out of main and they just weren't able to get anything, and with the dregs of that Uber extended way too far into a very, very healthy Nature Walk. As we're going to be seeing a re-engagement here. Again, Uber's out of the equation. Obler's actually going to come up on his now, and he's holding down mouse 2. He's going to pop that out straight away. Muppet in no real danger in his position. Should be able to back out to last. Mac might go down here late, but that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, as Muppet has managed to get out. A little bit more time chipped off the board there for Nature Walk, but Uber up for Muppet now. Big 75% Uber advantage, as it looks like we are getting a forward hold coming out here from Nature Walk.
Shift in
Xeno busting grass side.
Oh, shift in with Big Bomb, and we're missing the depth from depth. He could have picked up the scout there. Dubious, did Dubious force that? It looked like Dubious actually jumped in as the Uber was being popped again. Xenophobia are taking these Ubers super early. I'm not sure I agree with this. I mean, they get the point and they get the pocket pick, but Shift back in with a big bomb, not able to connect onto pause there, but I'm really not a fan of how Xeno are taking these Ubers. It seems like they're only getting positioned, but not getting really any frags to claim their name to. They really could be handling these a lot better, in my opinion.
So I'm just setting someone straight in Twitch chat, as it looks like Uber's going to be popped out here by Obler, and they've caught a lot of really close Xeno players, but again, that nice sort of heads-up positioning from Muppet, knowing that his players can die, and it's really inconsequential, but all that really matters is getting that Uber advantage up, and he has a big Uber advantage. It looks like they're going to be pushing out from grass side here. The Soldiers of Nature Walk are coming to meet them, and Sean has to pop in less than advantageous position to save his pocket Mac. And it looks like Paulson's going to be going deep with this. They're trying to force Nature Walk back, and they're actually doing a lot of damage here. Not super healthy players on either team. Paulson is still so deep, and he gets Obler and he gets stepped as well. Paulson with huge plays.
Nature Walk. Shift is probably going to pick up Pause too. No, Pause just jumped away with his life.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Shifter with a nice follow-up there. But I really thought Nature Walk, even though, the Uber was coming out from Xeno, I thought they could have taken that around. 10 seconds left. I mean, Paulson putting the team on his back there. That was incredible. It's a mad rush to the point as stickies are not being popped. Oh my god, Dubious again just hitting the skybox. Quid gets actually quite a bit of cap time for his team. Him and Dubious and down. All good. And oh my god, Paulson continuing his spree. Please, someone shut this kid down as Mac cleans up those last 2 frags, as we see Xeno tying it 1-1.
Much closer affair on this product. This was really nice. Big plays by Paulson there, knowing that he needed to go deep to kill Obler in order to make sure his team had basically secured the round, and he did. Ended up on an 8 kill streak there. Paulson doing it large. As we're going to be going on to mid number 3 now. Early aggression coming out from Dubious, I believe that is, and Shifter's going to counter jump, taking the opposition rock, but 2 players. Modus has actually gone down for xenophobiaphobia, so that's not good. No demo man on the field, but MG is just cleaning up. He's playing that scout role to a T. He's just able to get his buff post-fight. He knows that everything's dead, and Paulson and MG are just going to combine to clean it up. Deft and Obler stuck in there. Deft wasn't able to add 1, I suppose it is. Add 1 his way out of that one, and we're going to see the scout clean up, and big Uber advantage in favour of Muppet as well, so I expect to see a sack wave coming out from Nature Walk here. First time Bubbles died on a mid.
First time, and that was just all Scout Town. Like, EMG and Paulson, like, they played so well as a combo there, like, it was... I was just watching from a bird's eye view, and the way they moved around each other, like rotating the heels and locking up the players of Nature Walk, was a sight to behold. As Dubious, he's hitting so much spam. Is he on the direct hit? He is on the direct hit, Yauch. It has come out. But, I mean, he's almost dead, and Obler is giving him no heals. I'm really not sure what Nature Walk are doing in this position. It seems quite odd. Their flank doesn't really have any buffs to speak for, and all they're doing is really giving time for xenophobiaphobia. They might be trying to boot up their Uber charge and go for a one-on-one trade, or they might just walk forward. This is really balls to the walls play from them. Dubious gets the air shot onto the Ubered soldier. Quid loses his life. Obler's up on his Uber charge now. Paulson is behind in-house. Modus cleans up Deft. Dubious with a big rocket onto EMG, but this is really not a good pop for Nature Walk, as they've got Pulse. They've got 3 players from xenophobiaphobia behind. They're all going to collapse at once. Shifter misses all of his rockets onto Obler. Does pick up.
But Dubious is behind. Dubious has got the direct hit. He does miss a direct hit on the Muppet, but it does take him down post-fight. Sorry to cut you off there, but that was huge. Dubious just sort of meandering in, for lack of a better word, and taking down Muppet as Paulson and Shifter both extend into Deft and Quid in that lower cliff area and do get taken down. They get taken and turned into mincemeat, rather, as Nature Walker are going to be capping up on this point now.
They pick up 2 minutes and 40 seconds though. That was just massive, and it was just Nature Walk being so indecisive. Like, they didn't go in for a single sack. They really waited until they had Uber to push. And when they did push, it was a very scrappy fight, and so it took them another maybe 30 seconds even after the Uber just to get control of the point. As we see here, Xenophobia actually eating a lot of spam. The rockets and stickies coming in is dealing so much damage, and yeah, Dubious comes in with a direct hit. Down actually goes down as Dubious is not able to hit a single direct hit. This is why you need that splash damage. Dubious does nothing with the Uber, loses his life, and things are gonna be crumbling for Nature Walk here unless Deft can make a massive play. But no, he sticky jumps out. He says, I don't want any of that. And it looks like almost as soon as they capture the point, looks like Nature Walker is going to have to give it up. Deft actually drops Muppet and Mac. Are you kidding me?
Wow! I was going to say that looks like a little bit of an overextension from Deft. He was getting shot at by a scout, but he did so well just to focus forward there and just hit some fat stickies. Goodness me, that fight was definitely going in the way of xenophobiaphobia if it wasn't for that big play by Ryan. And that was
incredible.
That was nutty.
Going back to stock, down completely anti-airing Shifter there, and wow, I mean, Deft just potentially, so in a way, possibly saving the round for his teammate just with how much time he's buying them. It looks like Xenophobia might still get the cap here, but with Uber almost up, oh my god, Dubious gets a quick meat shot to the face, courtesy of Paulson. Matt goes down. Looks like Modus is going to go down in two. No, Muppet just manages to latch up to him as time.
Shifter's onto Shifter
and Paws back in as well. Paws with a massive bomb. Are you kidding me? That was so well timed. EMG's gonna find that kill for his troubles, but Paws with the beautifully timed bomb there. No one was there to protect the medical demo of Zeno, and he cleans those frags up. Obla goes down, but I mean, this is a tight one, Yauch.
Oh yes, you called the massive bomb there by Paws, but Shifter got in as well and managed to get Obla's first drop of the game. So we still got two more to get up to your standard. But it looks like with the spawn the spawns are coming up in favor of xenophobiaphobia here. Just such a messy DM fight. Both medics going down. Dubious is in. Dubious doesn't manage to hit the fat follow-up, but Paws is coming in really hot. Modus is just hitting so many nice shots to defend himself there, and Obla's got taken down in the backfield as well by Shifter. Shifter just jumping past the entire Nature Walk team.
It's just down. Paulson cleans them up. So the flank of Zeno, as much as you can call it a flank on product of Paulson and Shifter, just doing so much work there. And we've got Sean up on full Uber charge. 30 seconds left on the clock. I mean, Nature Walk have the cap, still at about 75% done, but this is getting dire.
Sorry, we found the bulk broken cheerleader photos in chat, so we're doing it large. But yeah, big Uber advantage in favour of Muppet, and they're just playing on their own side of xenophobiaphobia. They might actually end up accidentally giving up the cap here, and indeed they do. Counter Uber's popped out, but Paulson and Shifter go down. This is a bit messy, a bit scrappy here from xenophobiaphobia.
Very messy.
They were trying to play on their own side and sort of bait Nature Walk into their own Uber.
Exactly, the crit coming out from Death. The crit who gets absolutely no one. He gets Muppet with the final sticky. Matt gets a sick rocket though onto Obla. Paulson gets Deft as well. Quid not able to protect his demo man. And actually, Nature Walk capping that up is going to give them such awful respawns here. It's another 14 seconds for Dubious. I mean, the crit's paying off in the end, but Mac with a massive rocket onto Obla and the cleanup from Paulson. I mean, Xenophobia just need to cap this point up once, and with 4 players standing on it, it seems like it's going to happen. Paws and Quid are doing all they can, and they get one frag, but they just don't have the health, and by sheer healing factor alone, we see Xenophobia take up their second round and go up 2-1. This is it, this is match point.
Oh god, this is so intense. This is actually ridiculous. Just so many clutch end of teamfight moments that are deciding a lot of these fights. As Modus is taking his position up onto Power Rock, and he gets spammed down pretty low there, down to 60 health. Dubious is going to open it up. He's going to bomb aggressively onto the hurt Modus, but he's going to get turned away pretty quickly. MG aggressing onto this concrete side, but it is going to get taken down by a combination of Paws and Quid. Paulson's going to go down too. No scouts for xenophobiaphobia. That should cue the get the hell out of there, but no, Quid's gonna take down Muppet. Muppet was isolated there. Just Mac left alive. Mac's just gonna go why not and gets floated by a scout.
It really seems to be the scouts really deciding these product mids, and obviously, you know, this map is a scout playground. You know, you can take the majority of heals and just, you know, plus forward everyone, as we saw Paulson do earlier. But yeah, Quid showing his hand, being like, you know, I can play with the big boys here, as we get a juicy 80% advantage in the hands of Obla, as we see missed it down. Oh, it's actually crits on Obla. We see missed it down on Sniper. What do you think of crit Sniper plays, Yauch? Not very conventional.
Railgun, but I don't
Shifrin with a big bomb, gets one rocket, and Obla with a nice surf. Pause gets Paulson. Mac actually coming in as well. He's not able to survive. Cleans up Pause, but the triple sack coming in. Oh, very good.
This could inadvertently end up working for xenophobiaphobia. I don't know if they know it's crits. I don't know if anyone quite got close enough to Obla to tell. But Muppet has got out here, and does he come up on Uber? He will come up on his Uber very soon. And as we know, Uber trumps crits, so unless we can see something coming out from down on the Sniper, I think this might end up favouring xenophobiaphobia, but they could still catch out.
Come in, not able to catch anything.
Mini crits and crits on the field. This is a little bit disgusting. Poor Obla's so far back though. I'm trying to really coax them into an early pop here. They can counter crits in.
Oh, Mac taking out a really nice shot from down. Dubious is actually on the backline.
Good reaction pop from Muppet. Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, that's what ended up happening.
Dubious is still on the background. He's jumping in now, along with Pause. The sync bomb just instantly cleans up Muppet. It's not going to be enough. Oh my god, down with the headshot onto Shifter. Mac coming in, one rock onto Obla. Obla's not able to surf it around. Picks up the wall shot. Deft gets the final frag onto EMG and Paulson, some tasty pipes. And after all that, Muppet's going to find himself with what should be about maybe a 25-30% Uber advantage in the end. But, I mean, Nature Walk have cleaned off 2 minutes from the clock there, and boy, that is some crazy DM we're seeing.
Yep, both soldiers from Xeno here just running in through the extender, trying to shut out that sniper. Mac has gone so deep, and he's going to trade for down. He does get his man. He gets the sniper. Sniper threat alleviated.
Pause.
Ooh, Pause just gets suspended.
Quid also overextending like crazy, but he picks up Paulson. That should not be allowed to happen. I mean, 3 players were surrounding Paulson, and Quid with the pistols picking him up. Like, that's dodgy, as we see Obla, he's still on the crits, he's building very quickly, he's still on the crits creek, so Ubers are gonna be still a slight favour for Muppet, but they're gonna be up at about the same time, so this could be an amazing surprise play if they pull it off. I wouldn't put it past Zeno to, like, work out what's happening, as Nature Walk are really tentatively playing on their own side, but Obla's feeding all the heals to depth, and none of the rest of his team have buffs, and Zeno are just balls deep in this in. They get down, and they probably realize that Obla was on the crits from this hyper-aggressive play there. They lose Paulson, and they might actually lose Mac too. It gets juggled up.
So, yeah, it's going to get taken down by Quid in the end. I want to see where they can take this crits though. It looks like Deft is walking up slope side. It doesn't look like the position that they're super savvy to it. Crits has popped out onto Deft. Obla's going to get taken down immediately by Motors. Really nice pipe there. And it looks like Dubious should get taken down here as well, but there's a lot of pressure coming out onto Mac. MG, the Scout, as I lagged out a little bit there, but the Scout, Paulson and MG combining for the cleanup. Quid gets taken down by a nice pipe by Paulson, and nice pipe by Modus, rather. Paulson's not playing demo anymore, and Paulson is going to find one last frag onto Pause, I believe that was. It really, again, back in favour.
Collapse. Yeah, that was... Nature Walk Seaman ends here, and their massive time advantage is slowly slipping away as Dubious and Quid just feed into this forward hold, and with Uber advantage in favour of Muppet.
Pause is behind as well, mind you. He's actually onto
Oh
Sean.
My god.
He's not going to be able to take him down.
Down and Pause go down, and this is looking disastrous for Nature Walk. This is match point. They've got their crits up now, but Muppet is on his Uber as Dubious and Quid just feed in a nice rocket there from Shifter, but this is disastrous.
Yeah, it is, and like still again, crits for Uber. This, and with the forward hold really cemented, unless they can get a really sneaky crits in and just completely catch Muppet off guard, I don't think we're going to see anything here. Because they're going to walk out through main. Uber's pop.
Yeah, they get down. Obla and Deft
actually
just
grass side.
This is not good, but it actually doesn't look like Mac realizes where they are. Shifter comes in. Shifter does realize, but it doesn't matter. They lose all their players.
MG's gonna get deft though.
Obla just surviving, and I mean, Xeno only lost 2 players in all of those trades. Yeah, the respawn slightly in favor of Nature Walk, but that accounts for nothing. They've got their crits, but this needs to be a dead-on crits. They need a wipe, and Dubious goes down instantly, and they lose Obla again at the moment he pops the crits. They pick up Paulson. Shifter's gonna come in, do a ton of damage. Def picks him up. It's actually just Mac, Muppet, and EMG now against the Force, but all of Nature Walk are so weak. It's just Deft, and this is gonna be Curtain's call for Nature Walk, and they've just crumbled.
Yeah,
they were
Dubious is gonna try and get in last second. The scouts were doing so much work for such a long time there, as that is going to be 3-1 for Nature Walk, but the team play just on xenophobiaphobia is really edged it out there. If you want to take us over the logs, I'm going to give some strings for a couple of interviews. If that's alright. Do you have
my best to try to find them.
The clicky logs up?
I'm gonna try to find them. I'm gonna do my best. Getting up logs from an IM game. That's unprofessional of me. Here we go. Off the bat, Deft 464 DPM.
Oh,
that's a lot.
That's alright.
That's a lot of. Someone consider that a lot of DPM. I mean, Deft just going massive. I mean, it helped that he had crits plays and was taking the majority of heals. I mean, Deft took 23% heals for his team. It was unbelievable, but then we see Mac and Modus just below the 400 marks respectively, 392, 373. It's just absolutely unbelievable. If we move over to kills per def, we actually see EMG this game leading the scoreboard. No like individual outstanding performances from either team, but yeah, I'm gonna call it from what you said, Yauch. It was just superior team play in the end out of Xeno. You know, if you look at the logs, it really isn't a standout player per se. They all in like each fight held their own, you know, round after round.
Indeed they did, with some really nice, I think Paulson playing some really clutch cleanup roles there, as, yeah, that's going to be both maps in favour of Xeno, really. We've got a couple of interviewers hanging out up there, if you want me to drag them in, Foz, unless you had anything left to say on
I do not, and Obla's already breaking his, are we getting the losers in here to interview?
We're getting a bit of both.
I don't want to interview no stinking losers. I'm not happy with this.
I was told Bulldozer was coming, but I've been lied to, it looks like.
I'm going to bring in Obla first. No, we're just going to bring in all of them. We've got here Modest, Obla, and Quid. How do you... Oh, they need to be unmuted. I forgot about that. Do that now.
Don't unmute Obla. Alrighty.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with Modest, because we talk to winners here. Hey, Jake.
What's up, buddy?
Well played, mate. Congratulations on the win. What do you think caused you to take a dump all over Obla?
What?
Actually, yeah, can you succinctly say why Obla is the worst player in Australia? Just in like a sentence or less.
It's just not
Honestly,
very good.
Modus can't say that. He doesn't play with him.
Actually, yeah, well, people wear that Quid. Do you wanna give us your expert analysis on why Obla is so bad, and why he dies the moment he pops his crits?
Probably disability from a birth defect. Like, I'm not really sure what it is, but there's something wrong.
Get it here first, kids.
You know that I won't be playing for you next week?
Ooh. Oh, thank God.
BM, I'm not... We've got to settle it down here, kiddies. Let's take some serious questions here. You lead the charge.
Alrighty, first one, non-me directed at Obla. And Quid, to a degree. What was the decision to run crits there? Because it sort of ended up screwing you guys over in a few of those team fights where you let Sean get Uber towards the end. What was the decision there?
Def said crits would have been good there, let's run crits, and then we did, and it worked, and we just sort of didn't stop for one reason or another.
I think there should have been a point after we had 1 or 2 successful crits where we should have moved off, because we just, like, for the last minute we just by the forward hold. So.
Do want to welcome crowd favourite Paulson. How you going, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Paulson saw you with a fat, beefy 8k on product as well there. Talk us through what you was going through you guys on that map and why you think you won.
I don't know. I feel like MG cleaned up a lot. I feel like that was a big part of it. I think MG played really good that map. I know Modus was doing pretty consistent damage. He was always yelling that he destroyed them as they were walking up. But I don't think there was anything special, really. It's really hard to pinpoint why you win in TF2, to be honest, in a general way.
I know, that was just the most generic interview question because I wanted to spam in Twitch chat. Sorry about that.
I can't give you
I'm literally firing you, Yauch, after this cast.
Hell yeah.
Well, regarding that 8k, I was actually going for, I think, 7 for 11 just before that happened. And then I got the 8k and the round ended and I was on like 16 for 12 and I was like, what? Yeah, that's I thought that was kind of funny.
Alright, we'll throw back, going back to Snakewater, we saw a lot of fat DM coming out there. Like, was Mac excited? I'll ask Modus and Paulson. Mac was just going large.
Mac doesn't get excited.
That's a good point.
I'm sure there's a
Was
catalog.
Mac less apathetic than usual?
Yeah, I'd put it that way. I'm sure he'll have a catalog of various air shots and clips on his unlisted playlist.
Yeah, it's unlisted fragments.
Yeah,
We'll make those public one day.
Oh, I doubt that. You could try.
Alright, we'll throw... Foz, do you have any questions, actually?
Well, I'd just like to kind of open to whoever wants to answer from either team. You know, I guess, you know, coming into the season, you're both teams here considered, you know, obvious playoff contenders. Looking forward to this fixture, how are you, like, what's your expectations against, you know, coming up against the other team? Were you, like, expecting, like, just an easy win, or kind of, did you have the confidence in yourself, or how's it coming in?
Yeah, so we, especially on Snakewater, like, in the Mumble, it was just kind of uneasy. We weren't ourselves. It was, you know, very nervous because this was probably one of the more crucial matches, considering I think the seedings of 4th, 5th, 6th in Prem are all pretty much identical. Like in the beginning of the season, teams of equal caliber. We wanted to have a good fight.
Subler's not dying for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys go.
Bad.
Quid, you want to answer?
Happily. Pretty much I think that we all sort of tensed up over the fucking, what's it called, official, and we all just sort of started calling weird things, and it like fell apart a bit.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much it. Nothing else really happened.
Gotta actually ask one more question to you, Nature fellas. What was up with the dubious decision to run direct hit?
You're asking the wrong people.
Do we need to ask
Okay,
Julius to work
honestly,
that out?
he likes to run the direct hit. That's pretty much it.
We don't
Okay.
know. At some point, I feel like playing with Brack, he hit himself in the head with a brick and he just like started running the direct hit every now and again.
Did you do that while playing for Rack, Quid?
No, I've just been railing ketamine for the past 6 hours.
Thank you, Aiden. Okay, I've got one more question that Twitch chat wants to know. Paulson, who's hotter, you or Mailer?
Oh my god. Are you
I'd
serious?
say Paulson.
They've been having
I'd say
a
Paulson,
genuine
yeah.
arguments about this. I said Bog's hotter than both of you, but you can weigh in.
I'd say Banny.
Thick. Okay. Well, that just about wraps us up here, unless you had anything else to add, Foz, if we want to start doing shoutouts.
No, I think we're free to move
Let
over
us
to
do
shoutouts.
shoutouts. Thank you.
Do shoutouts.
Alright, Jake, you first?
Shout out to ozfortress, the best competitive league in the world.
God, do you play RuneScape?
Ayo.
It seems great.
Shut up.
Alright. Clem?
Yeah, just
Shoutouts.
thanks for casting. Congrats to the other team for winning. We will see you again. Fear not. And yeah, thanks.
Paulie Paulson?
Shout out to everyone in stream that if they ever quadrupled their Paulson support.
There's plenty of that.
Oh, good. I'm sure that's why we ended up winning. Shout out to the Jasmine Boys and shout out to Zeno and Geoske.
Aiden?
Shout out Bulldozer, Immature Llama.
Dude, why is he not here? That was the other question I was going to ask. I was promised Bulldozer, and you did not deliver on Bulldozer.
It's like 2 a.m. in America.
I was promised Bulldozer, and you didn't deliver Bulldozer.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
I promised Dreamboat 2 and he didn't rock up, so you know.
Eh.
Oh well. Big
Oh
loss. Blazer, shout out Blazer, shout out Cecil. shout out Henry as well, and that's pretty much it. Also, fuck King Carl, you fucking retard cunt.
No swearing, buddy.
Family show. At least to a degree. Oh,
Alright, Fozz, shout
I think.
outs.
Shout out to both teams for the entertaining match. Shout out to you, Yauch. It's been fun casting with you, getting
Hell
back
yeah.
into the swing of things. Shout out to Wiethoofd again, our amazing man behind the camera, doing amazing production work for us. And one particular shout out to the man I was railing so much that game.
Ketamine.
The best medic in ozfortress history, along with being probably the best admin ever, Mr. ozfortress Obler. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
So you're back.
Alrighty, I'll wrap us up here, folks. Shout out to everyone who came out tonight. We had a pretty cool turnout. I'm pretty impressed with that. Shout out to both teams, but more so Xenophobia, because I like you guys more. Shout out to...
Thanks.
No problem.
I'll be sending you a
shout
photo
out
of me in
to...
a Sailor Moon costume again.
Please. Shout out to Aiden. He gets an individual shout out. I love you, Quid. Shout out to Yukari. Shout out to all my friends. And yeah, shout out to Wiethoofd. Thanks, everyone. This has been
Easy win.
ozfortress. Easy win. Thank you, Jake.
Be sure to join us. Be sure to join us next week for TF Live. We'll be
Play
bringing
us
you
out,
a
Quid.
lot more. No, please do not play us out.
Play us out,
Thank
Quid.
you for joining us for TF Live's coverage of ozfortress Premier Division Week 4 fixture, Nature Walk versus Xenophobiaphobia. The VOD will be up on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, all the usual places. And yeah, thanks for everyone for coming out. Catch us next week. We'll be
us
definitely
out,
have
Quid.
more game. No!